Welcome back to another episode of Unmotivated, the podcast where we have the middle finger upside down because we try to find a reason to keep fucking going. That being said, we're sitting down with Iron Shark K9.
What up? What up?
And we're going to talk a little bit about trust and trusting your dog. A couple things. Let's walk through trust here. And I like trust because trust, my God, it's such a hard thing to attain, acquire, and have, or if not get. I'm not a person who's trusting. I don't trust shit but the fucking facts. And the facts require a lot of work. Stan, please walk them through why you trust my guidance, showing up as much as you do. Make sure we draw in context before. Stan lives about an hour and a half away from here, and it's a good drive. Like, it's an honest drive. I drove it once. I said, "Fuck this." so it's like you drove an honest 100 miles. I forget who was I talking to. The nigga just called it 100.
It was me. It's like 80 something.
Yeah. But you go, man. That's a good ways. But Stan, you made the commitment to come up here. Clearly, you got some business up here at times. So I was like, hey, if I'm up there, I might as well stop by, get a little bit more work done. What about this journey you've watched me kind of walk? You watched my journey kind of unfold, but you kind of trust our process and what we're doing. Why do you trust what we're doing here?
Oh, well, because stuff keeps improving. When I met you, I think that video was from 2020, about 4 years ago now. Everything has just grown from then. You had Zara at the time, and now you have 13, 14 dogs now. I don't know how many dogs you got.
It's over 9.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything's just progressed. And then it's getting more and more interesting. More and more opportunities are opening. Doors are doing this, traveling. And again, the work has never stopped. And you've never, said to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. And
I almost wish it would. I got to be honest with you. When you said the work don't stop, I'm thinking, God damn, you right about that, man. Mm-hmm. It's been going and going. But keep going, man.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the biggest thing, because a lot of people talk about, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and they don't ever do nothing. You say we're going to do that, and then the next thing I know, we're in Vegas at places, we're in Atlanta at places, and stuff just, again, keeps progressing.
Keep in mind, people, when I tell them I'm going to do something, I've already chosen to do it, so I'm like, oh, I got my ticket, y'all can come if you want.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make it happen. And that's kind of that per se, but
yeah. So I mean, everything that you've said, you've actually done, and then like Jamil told you the stories where we had 12 people going with us to New York, and it ended up just being us because everybody was just talking. And that's one thing that I just can't respect about a lot of people is they just talk, and nobody wants to put in the work and don't want to do no walking. And again, everything that you've said, you've done. So that's one reason why I do like coming back up here. You challenge me, you open my eyes to different perspectives, you make me think about stuff differently than I would have before. And again, the proof is in the pudding.
It is, people. And trust is a very hard thing to attain in general, but even when we're looking at, I challenge Stan, because he said quite a bit. But mind you, I'm my worst critic, and I'm challenging myself day in and day out. When we do things, they're impromptu because I love the challenge life provides to actually be better. And to be better, you have to practice. And the practice doesn't mean you're going to get it right, but you're going to progress as long as you continue to do what we do, and that's press, play, post. Stan, what was one of those moments where you was kind of, because there's always this one moment, right? It's like this moment where you say, damn, I actually trust this person. So was there a definitive moment where you realized, like, yo, I gotta stay at it or with these guys because no matter what, I know for a fact, based on my collective of choices, both yours and mine, you say, dude ain't veered from the path once. But oftentimes, just like in life, for me, I'll use Rich as an example. Jamarcus was there with me one time. We had been with a guy named Nick, and basically my keys get stuck in the car. And he been with us all day. I'm talking about the Arlington nigga. This nigga been with us. And we hit this line. We said, hey, man, keys are stuck. Could you come grab us? He told us, mind you, nigga been riding the car. Imagine being me all day. You didn't see the whole world, and they fucking got down. So what do we have? What's that shit that we eat all the time? Some raw sushi basically put in a bowl. You didn't, poke bowl. You didn't live your life today. Your buddy calls and say, hey man, look, we left the keys in the car. I gotta pick up my friend. Can you come grab us real quick? I need to grab the keys. But he tell us, oh, we're friends right now. I can't help you. I'm like, oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I call my homeboy Rich, And Rich, when I tell you, he was like, I was like, yo, Rich, man, I don't know who it's. I'm like, I ain't even put. I was like, yo, my man, can you come? He's like, I got you. I'll be there. And it says 25:30, and he came. He go, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that nigga didn't even hesitate to come. Fast forward, I'm in a house now that Rich owns, where he's eating a loss, but he's like, you're too close to making it to have to be roaming around the way you've gone around. I moved 4 times in just this year alone. Mm-hmm. And Stan brought that up when we was in Atlanta, you know. He's like, bro, you do know. I said, no, I didn't think of it that way, because I want to think about the next step. But my point in the story is, was there a definitive moment for you where you was like, yo, I actually trust these people? Because trust is hard to gain, especially, I think, when you're a man. Yeah,
I mean, it goes back to when we were out at that field outside of Jamarcus's. I forget the high school's name, but, you know, it was when I first left Butch's place and was in a different mindset at that. And, you know, I got really upset with Rocco, and you kind of just learned, man, bro, he's not perfect. And then, like, once that kind of been said, it was like, oh, damn, I am trying to make him be something that he's not. He's a great dog, but he's not perfect. And no dog is ever going to be perfect. So it's like those moments like that. And then again, I mean, there's countless times, you know, I've called you, you know, with my kid, I called you in this situation, and it's always been the same. Even a mirror, you know, there's people that I've been doing some stuff with less than that. And then it wasn't even a situation like that, and they got mad or whatever. So it's like, you know, it's just been time and time again that anytime that a situation has come for, even for you to put me down or say something negative to me, it's like you've always, hey, change your perspective. And you never put me down to the point where you didn't want me to grow from whatever the criticism or the statement was. And again, you can't respect nobody if they're not telling you the truth to make you better. And sometimes it is stuff that you don't want to hear, you know. You are a little defensive. You get this, and it's like, well, fuck, I am. But it's, you know, it's been justified up to this point. And it's like, you're not, like you said, if you're saying something to us, you know, Jamarcus or myself, and it does seem a little putting down, it's not, it's like, hey, look, from this perspective.
It's not malicious.
Yes. There's no ill intent behind it.
I don't have no reason to. That's the beauty about it. Like, I literally have no reason to destroy it. I need everybody around me to be great.
Yeah. So I mean, and you charge people $1,500 plus for a 1.5-minute video, and I think I got a terabyte full of Trevor videos, and so, you know, those things come in. You know, it means a lot. You know, especially when you get around people that you can actually be yourself around. You don't have to try to fit into somebody else's box. All you got to do is do what you do best. And that's one thing that I do enjoy about being out here. Like, I don't have to be something that I'm not. I don't have to try to fit into a box that you guys are putting me in. All I got to do is train these motherfucking dogs to the peak of my ability and be able to communicate that. And I like the challenge. So
well, you have it, man. Well, and I had to ask that because even for me, it's definitive moments where I say, you know, I'm gonna push this person and fuck with him for as long as they're willing to fucking show up. And it's those moments, even like the day today, Stan's about to go out of town for, you know, almost a week, and it's, instead of like thinking, you know, I need to rest, he's like, shit, I'll be gone for 7 days. I'm gonna miss 2 days being up here. I need to go get some work. Part of the work is leaving with stuff like this and a puppy video and a German, you know, a retriever video and all this other stuff, because you have to stay consistent. And my job, believe it or not, is I've appreciated and I respect consistency. So my consistency for me is character based. So like you said, hey, for those that have heard the story, you know, Stan again calls, hey, Amir got pregnant on accident, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, that's fine, man. Just make sure he stays alive and I can't help these other pups. That'll have a nigga scratching his head when everybody else he's ever had an issue with puts him down and says, well, you dumb mother. They could have went down the line. I was like, oh, that's fine, bro. And then you mind you, within 48 hours, he had to come up and see me. Maybe you waiting for the ball to drop in. And I'm like, damn, the ball didn't drop. This is kind of odd, but it's refreshing because the nigga meant what he said. He said who he is. He's not been any different towards me or acted weird. Like, weird people to me is just like, yo, you quit being weird, bro.
Yeah, I know who you was before. Now all of a sudden you want to act weird. You don't want to send me a text when y'all going, oh, yeah, that shit's... And I mean, and we've been through that as well. And it's just gotten to the point where I've really gotten comfortable just being by myself, like not needing somebody else to validate, not needing somebody else to go. And again, because I know I have people like you guys in my corner. Like even the other day when we were on the freeway, when it was Jimmy G and you in the back and the dude's honking at us, and I'm like, well, I know what I got on me, and I got these two big motherfuckers here. This is not the car. This is not the car you want to run up on.
You have a problem with him, but you won't be here anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, all of those things. I mean, it's refreshing, man, and you know, being around people that you know are gonna have your best interest in mind and have your back, going out in public, going into different places, like just knowing somebody does want you to be great in those situations.
Man, and it's hard to come by, isn't it, man, when you find good people that are trustworthy and like exactly who they say they're gonna be, man. And mind you, I've been in your shoes, so for me, believe it or not, you are a we'll just say a checkpoint for me, because even in those moments where you might want to go degradation or derogative or hateful, you go, what is that actually going to solve? If we look at the ladder, and it's kind of like the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time, this dude has been 100% good, you know? And I mean, like, again, 80% of the time, 100% good. And the questions I have that aren't rooted in actually character flaws, they're rooted in like, yo, you're not thinking this way, you're not seeing the bigger picture, you're not doing enough. And you go, okay, so that's not the issue. So I don't think this was intentional, because he knows what's on the line and why I would spend this money, and he knows we can't fuck this up. But unfortunately, in life, accidents do happen, and believe me, I don't think I'm remiss from an accident happening. But as I told everybody, just come to me first and I'll work with you. Don't ever make me look for the lie or the truth. Just tell the truth and be honest, and we'll figure out how to work through it. But if I figure out, we'll have a problem. So meaning going from trust. Now, I know for a fact you trust your dogs, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I fucking trust my dogs. My dogs are 100. I only fuck my dogs. Now look at yourself and think, how do you build trust, gain trust, sustain trust, manage trust, or get trust from, we'll just say humans, man? Because mind you, you didn't hear some of me and Chris Moore's conversation, right? And Chris was just talking about him, make sure Sam crazy. He's like, you know, he's being irritable, man, like he normally is. But the gist of it is, he goes, and I told him, I said, Chris, if it's me and you against 1,000 people, I think we'll be okay. He said, that's how I think. He said, I said, but now imagine if it was me and you and we had 1,000 people. That's the thought that we never had, because we don't trust people, right? So imagine if we get into a trusting space because people love what we do, they're like, you leave those guys alone. We only can give orders because we're generals at heart, right? Yeah. How does someone actually acquire your trust, Stan?
I mean, I'm going to use Jamil as a good example. Like, I mean, he's just always been there, you know, through, you know, when we were at the top, you know, doing a lot of dogs at Butch's place, he was there. When we left Butch's place, he was still there. He called him same day I left. I was like, hey, I got a decoy spot for you. Jamil was like, can you believe he even asked me this? Like, I'm really going to stab Stan in the back after everything that I've done for him. So, I mean, people have, like, going through situations with people where they could have fucked you over. They could have, you know, swindled you or stabbed you in the back. I mean, that's one way that I gain trust from people. And I need to probably have a better sense of discernment a lot of times that we've talked about to make those decisions quicker if I can trust somebody or not. But I just feel like you have to go through something with somebody. And it's the same thing with the dogs, like putting them on obstacles, it stresses them out a little bit, but letting them know that, hey, I got your back. If I'm asking you to do these things, that you can't overcome it. The video that I shot with Boo today, it was an 8-foot wall, and he climbed up to the top, and he was a little insecure, so I helped him up. And then the second time he went up there, because he's like, hey, if he's asking me to do this, I can do it. And if I can't, I know he's gonna have my back. And it's the same thing with you guys. Like, I know that you guys have my back. There's sometimes that we're on camera and I'm about to stumble over my words and you come in and help. And then, you know, Jamarcus, you know, when we're shooting these courses, he's like, hey, that was good, but try it this way, because you're talking from a dog trainer's perspective versus talking to an average Joe pet owner. And those are two different conversations that you got to have. So having people that are going to challenge you, not only when you're doing the right thing, but also helping when you are messing up or when you are not reaching your full potential. So I like having those kind of people around, and those are the kind of people I trust.
And you know, I'm gonna change the saying to your full purpose people. You know, potential at the end of the day, we learn to stand still. So in my case, I told Stan since day one, I think you're worth more. I don't know that I know necessarily how to bring it out of you. What I do know is I'll give you my best shot.
Yeah.
And try my best to help you see the value in what you're doing and be of value to the people that I think need your value. So in this case, I would love to watch Stan, Jamarcus, and many others kind of find that purpose, because I know mine. And I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I know what not to do. So it's like, how do you make such good choices? I'm like, I should be better. You know, and the truth is, I don't want to. I just can't do. I'd rather do what we're doing. You look at a day like today. We started out at Jimmy G's. We drank some good whiskey. I told Stan to get on this game, get his character up. We're gonna start going live here with the game and whatnot. And all these things are us practicing habits. What are the habits? It's actually habitual to progress when you know, like, hey guys, I gotta get in here and play the game for 20, 30 minutes, do a live there or whatever platform. I gotta turn around, train it off for 20, 30 minutes. In my case, Stan's here, so it can never really be a day where he comes and I don't get video of this. So I did a good video with him on a golden retriever. Like, it's habits. Like, if it's habitual for you to be, I want to make being successful habitual.
Yeah.
How'd you get there, like?
And it's like you said, people are always like, man, I run out of content. But it's, if you do dogs every day, if you do whiskey every day, if you cook every day, like, you're never gonna run out of content. And it's just being able to story tell that. And that's been the hardest thing for me, is like, do people even want to hear these stories?
Well, in your case, Stan, though, you also don't see the bigger picture, man.
Yeah.
I've told you about becoming regional and overseeing this and that, and again, that's not something you thought of, it's something that I gave you. So you just think about who you guys become. And even when I asked today about, hey, becoming the whiskey guy. Let me tell you this too, guys. So, you know, this right here is kind of a timestamp. A timestamp means marks a moment in time to get that clarity. I told Stan, because I don't know how, well, I don't think he does a good job of seeing this future. I said, let me be very clear about the future, my friend. Your future, 2 degrees now, in my hands. And if it's not in my hands, or if I can't trust that you can follow instructions into 2025, good luck. Which means it's no longer in my possession, but I said, when you come up here, think of yourself as an employee who's employed to be better. So you take on a different level of responsibility. Stan, what's been your biggest challenge then? With both trusting yourself or knowing what you need to do to really be successful?
I mean, I think it's knowing what to do. Because sometimes it's like you don't see the progress, and I think it happens with the dogs a lot. It's like the first couple of days it's not going as you exactly expect it to, and you don't know if you should continue to do what you were doing or you should change it. And I think me and Jamarcus actually had a conversation on that. It's like, damn, where does the goalpost stand? Like, are you actually getting closer to the touchdown, or is it just keep moving away because there's more that the more you travel, the more you learn about yourself, that you got more work to do. So it's just like, are you actually even making progress toward that goal? And in the scheme of things, it's like, yes, because videos from 2 years ago, videos from 6 months ago, the videos we're shooting now are not the same. So it's like, yes, we're making progress, but there's still so much more to do. And it's like getting to that point where it's like, well, what do you do next? And that's definitely been the hardest thing for me, because I never had that responsibility to really think about what was next.
I would tell you this, people, whenever I take on the roles of leader and kind of like Jamarcus Stevens in his life, it is not like a fun thing. Some people, oh, man, I want to be in charge. Believe it or not, I wish everybody had their own ideas. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I think nobody did it better than Bill Gates and Steve Jobs when they sat on stage and talked about, hey, well, how'd you guys deal with the growth? We didn't want to grow 25,000 new employees, because those are 25,000 new people we have to be responsible for and kind of take care of, right? So I told Seth, I said, look, moving into 2025, I'm not going to presume you're going to figure it out. What I'm going to presume is that you've got a work ethic, and your work ethic aligns with my vision. And if you stick to the plan and you keep the house protected, which I told them back at Jamal's house, one of the first house I lived with, one of the first house I had Jamal, I said, look, I said, I'm going to go out and build this amazing house. Your job is only protect it. They don't necessarily know how to protect it. Even that company that reached out with me, right? About the treadmill.
Oh, 40 videos?
And so I just said, hey, look. He says, well, I don't think that's crazy. I said, that's fair. I said, your job is to protect your business, right? My job is to protect me. I don't get excited about what's perceived an opportunity if I don't protect me. So where you say, hey, I might not want to do 40 videos in the 90 days.
Yeah.
And I don't know that niggas is going to spend $1,000 when you can buy a fucking $230 treadmill that moves itself, that they do on TikTok. There be niggas on TikTok all day walking on a treadmill that be on the ground for $189.
And it's quiet.
And it's quiet, and you go, I'm supposed to guarantee, like, sell 3 times. Like, so maybe I can remove the clause. So I told him, I said, listen, my man, it's not that serious, man. Not every business is supposed to work together, and I can live with that. I'm not missing opportunity. I said, you're not either. Good luck. Because I don't need a treadmill. The treadmill isn't our answer. I think people are actually more entertained when they watch the dog swim.
Yeah.
Like, you see a dog swim like a guppy, oh, damn, that dog getting healthy. Treadmill's cool, but it does not make or break us. So now 40 videos over 90 days with dogs on the treadmill, that's kind of corny to me, I gotta be honest. I'd rather walk through the dogs walking and hearing new sounds, or a dog barking at its fence and look at that reaction. That does more in real time than any treadmill video would do, which builds trust with both me and the dog, right?
Yep.
Instead, what's one of the most important things you could tell people to be mindful of when trying to attain, gain, sustain, manage, or be trustee? I know that's a lot.
You got to. It starts with yourself. You got to be able to trust yourself. And I always go back to sports. Like, when you handed me the stick, I may not have been the fastest one on that 4x1, but I was never gonna be the slowest.
I wasn't gonna be first, but I wasn't gonna be last.
Yeah, you can trust me that I'm either gonna hold the position or make it a little bit better. And I think, again, you have to believe in yourself. A lot of people doubt themselves because they're not actually putting in the work when nobody's watching. Everybody wants the claps and the cheers when people are watching, but it's like, what are you doing when nobody's there?
I think that's funny because it's like the moments where the camera come on, and all of a sudden I know a lot about nutrition. You go, well, how'd you read it? How you know all that stuff? It's like all the shit you don't see when I read, and I have to read collectively, consistently, to be able to convey these things over a course of however much time, right?
Yeah.
So that part is like all the shit they don't see is why to and I could like, oh, it was on this page. Oh, really? Yeah. Why you didn't record that? I'm like, because I had to deliver a message or something. Guys, what I will tell you is, for one, Stan's a guy who I believe has my best interest in the business, interest in the dog's interest at heart, which I think comes before everything. What I don't know is ironically, Stan, I don't think you have your best interest at heart because you don't know what the fuck you need. So nobody else tells you. That's been my challenge with you, is you not actually knowing how to be so clear that you know exactly what you need to get there. And that goes back to me saying, hey, Stan, what's your biggest goal? Not knowing how to define goals. Then you don't know how to apply the pressure. You know how to work. So like you say, hey, let's do a marathon. It's 26 miles. You know what you need to do. And you call somebody plan to get to 26 miles. But you don't know how to make $1 billion.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, that
Not
part.
yet.
That part right there. But you go, how do I actually become worthy or worth time, energy, effort in a fucking damn? Not because people say so, because I believe beyond a little bit doubt. I believed it before I met Stan. I knew it after meeting Stan. I know it now more than ever. I know people's lives are going to get better because I was there. There's no question. I've proven it. They've heard it live today, even with talking to the homie Chris Moore. Like, I was at 8,000.
Yeah. Now I'm up to 10.
10-8. Just like, because a couple of phones, I said, told you, bro, this is clockwork, my man.
Yeah.
I said, I've mastered my approach, at least, to delivering and building a profile on a dog and turning people on that road, and then teaching them about the pros, the cons, the flaws, the opportunity, challenges, the risks, etc. What I will tell you is, I think Stan's got a lot to learn, and I know he keeps showing up with the ability to learn. And part of my thing was, instead of me giving up on you, just let me give you one more chance to be the best you can. And to be clear, Stan's done nothing to me. Like, he's not a bad guy, but here's what happens. When a person has purpose, when a person doesn't have purpose, their purpose indirectly could be distracting you from your purpose. And so let's say I become infatuated with the idea of making a guy like Stan great, and I lose sight of my plan. And I'm giving Stan everything I got for him to be real regular. And he don't know what to do. So instead of me saying, look, Stan, I believe you're going to be great with him. Look, I believe Stan going to be great with him, but I could give a shit less if he is or isn't, because what matters is that I'm great. And if he lines up with me on the line, he becomes greater. Therefore, I said, let me assume responsibility of both his life, definitely DeMarcus's life, and the people around me, and I'll make everybody's life better, which I've also said for 4 or 5 years. Keep the camera on me, I'll do the rest of the work. Now, it's got to make sense more now than ever. Because now it's like, hey, assume these responsibilities. When I ask you to do something, you want to do it. Because you want to be with me in the end. Like, you're going to look at today, and some people will see the tears. Tears, oh, he's good. It's like, bro, I don't want to do this. But if it doesn't happen this way, we will not get there. Point blank. Like if you're not Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, and you're not being, I don't want to say derogative or clear at times is what they were. This is a stupid idea. Like, I can't be your friend in that way to become successful. If you don't know, then please shut the fuck up. and until I'm wrong, then we got to stick to the plan. To just let us know. Part of the reason we're doing a trust. Look, dogs are they're actually easy to trust, believe it or not, because a dog will do what it's supposed to do, and sometimes do what it don't want to do. But it only does what it does when you don't give a shit.
Yep.
In the human world, you could give a shit 100,000 times and tenfold, and nigga still fuck you over. Thinking a nigga trust you don't.
But that's a topic for another day.
So in this case, I have to respect and appreciate both Stan and Marcus's trust. Jimmy G and the other ones that are showing up. Tim allowed me to, be a part of the whiskey blending in this journey because everybody trusts that my intent's clear, that my vision's pure, and that the work is been defined, right? So we get to go and continue to create magic, all based on everyone's initial intent, and that's just to be better. So, Stan, if it's not been recorded, again, thank you for showing up, man. Mm-hmm. Thank you for choosing the latter. I've told Stan this off camera many times where I expect him to go in time and say, fuck this shit. But he keeps showing up, and I gotta be honest with you, there's more people who don't know than do know about where they want to be in life. And even worse, they don't even know how to get there. And they're around the wrong folks. And you're subjecting yourself to being less than because you hope that one day it's gonna work out, and it don't work that way.
Yeah, and Jamarcus actually sent me a video the other day. He was like, I forget the video. He was saying basically you set your prices to help people to where you started at, but those aren't the people that you're trying to reach. And that's been my issue. Like, I've wanted to help people that were like me at the very beginning, but nobody was like me. Like, I was very ambitious. I was very set on what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with my dog, and I didn't want a name. I didn't get into the dogs for any of the stuff that we have right now. I literally wanted to get a dog who didn't get hit by a car. Like, that was the fucking it. But I love the sport, or the aspect that it reminded me so much of sports. So I knew that there was going to be work. I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight, but nobody else that I've tried to assist has had that same mindset. They wanted to come out for 1-2 months and have 100,000 followers. They wanted to come out and spend 2 training sessions and have the same thing that we've had for spending 1,000 hours plus working on with these dogs. So when I started figuring out my own value, those are the opportunities that really started coming forth. So once I got out of my own way and trying to help people that really didn't want to be helped, they just wanted a handout, life has gotten a whole lot more peaceful. And like you said in that golden video, the older we get, the more peaceful we need, because again, family, life, all that shit's gonna stress you out. Why am I gonna stress myself out with other shit?
You being a father, the older your daughters get, the more you even almost care about than you probably did at the beginning. Not saying you didn't care, but you care more about where they're gonna end up versus like at 2 or 3 you're like, oh, I just gotta take care of the kid. Now you're like this.
Now I gotta take care of the kid. Yeah.
I was just making a question of like, I need to make sure she's a strong female. You got 2 daughters, so I'm more concerned now today than I was at 5 years old.
Yeah, man.
Because now we're getting closer to, baby girl per se leaving the house. And what does she do when her dad's no longer there to protect her? Well, in this case, people stand and others show up because I can protect them. I can protect them from their lack of understanding, their uncertainty at times, their fears, when they lack focus or all that stuff. Like, oh, just talk to him. He knows what we're supposed to do. And that in itself provides peace, which is why there's a Gates and Jobs and Hastings and Elon Musk on stage. You don't want to think the way that we think, but we don't want you to worry about the things we're worried about. So if you can do your job, you'll be okay. Guys, trust is a very serious thing. It's a very real thing. It's a very crazy thing. I know how hard it is to attain, gain, sustain, manage, and get trust from anyone. And I don't trust damn near anyone. I trust the work, and I trust the truth. So my make it or break it moment, Stan, was actually when you called to tell me about a mirror. Because I can live with that. I can live with you telling me, hey, there was an accident. I didn't plan for it. I definitely didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened. I trust a man who's willing to tell me the truth in a dark moment. I don't trust the man who's telling me the truth that benefits him.
Yeah, I was like, shit.
Him telling me don't benefit me none.
I was like, shit. And I waited to the very last minute I could, because I'm like, damn, I don't want to say nothing and it not happen. And I'm like, damn, put my foot in my mouth. But once she started having them titties, I was like, nah, I gotta say something now, because I mean, there's nothing else I can do about it, and the consequences were gonna be the consequences regardless of whatever it was. And you know, in my mind, I thought it was gonna be a whole lot worse because of the people I was dealing with before, and again, a lot less of opportunities, and they took it way further than, you know. Trevor's like, oh, she's okay? Is she still alive? Oh, all right, well, let me know after the pups are gone, just keep her alive. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
look, I was raised around men, and the men I was raised around, they deal with things in fact. And if we have, in fact, a plan, in fact, a goal, I ain't about to beat a man up to tell me the truth. What I'm gonna do? Like, hey, she's pregnant. I'm like, oh, okay, that's crazy, man. Look good. Well, listen, I can't help you. Like, I'm never gonna forget it because I already know. And what's crazy is I know what he was thinking. Because he was like, I bet this nigga was straight like, God damn, I gotta tell this nigga. I'm probably the worst person you could have to call in this type of situation. You go, fuck, this is the worst. Because I'm crazy in that regard, but I'm honest. And honesty is why it's easy to communicate with them about a problem. And
I mean, you also knew that I was literally taking every precaution for it.
Yeah.
Amira was going out by herself, or only with Oakley, like all of them shit. And then
I don't know because I wasn't there, so I don't mean that. I don't start living for a fetch. I repeat, my moment of clarity for you was when you called to tell me about not your best moments, but your darkest moments, where you could considerably, at the time, you could lose a friend, bro. Someone you consider a friend, a confidant, someone you trust, someone who's been there with you, someone who believed in you. You're like, I could lose this person over this one.
great camera footage.
I could lose this person on this one thing that I didn't plan for. Fuck. What do I do? Just tell the truth. If in my world, if you tell me the truth, I got you. Like the worst situation, more than likely I'll find a way to make it make sense. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be easy on you or like anybody gets some tough times, but you go, okay, we'll be okay, we'll survive. And that part right there is eye-opening, and you know, it benefits Stan to, in this case, he believe in himself a little bit more, because the truth in this case, it did set him free. And here he is still today, and mind you, Mira's had those pups. They're a year and some change older. We've got the litter that I always plan for. So let's say she did have another litter. I only got her for ego litter. And so if I executed my goals, everything else is good. We got one more. But point is through that time and the time we've had together, I've grown to trust this man even more, because I trust someone who shares the truth with me, not what they want me to hear. And it's tough to call anybody and say, hey, fucked up, bro. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but it happened. Go ahead and say goodbye, whatever you're going to do now. Just try to say something. And that's not happening. Oh, that's kind of confusing. No, it's not, man. The truth is the only thing that's constant. So, guys, if you don't have the right people around you, God bless you. If you wish you were around better people, be honest with yourself. You heard Stan talk about his defense. Hey, man, defensive. I've told him, like, yo, and I've seen him and Jamarcus both get frantic at times. When I ask them questions, they might not know the answer to, so they react. I say, for one, take a deep breath. There's no reason to react. You're not on trial. So you gotta chill out. But even more importantly, if you don't know, say I need to go work on that. Work on it. I'm always working on something. If I wasn't working on them, we still wouldn't be sitting here.
That's facts.
You know, it's all the work that I'm doing when nobody's watching, and there's somebody calling saying, hey, Trev, did you get that done today? No, nigga. Like, nobody's calling to ask me what I did today, or if I got said things done. There's nobody checking on me. There's no plan somebody gave me. This is me thinking about my future, where I want to learn how much work goes into it, and asking minimal to no questions and living through my actions.
Yep.
Guys, the trust is a real thing. I appreciate you guys listening. Like, share, download. Find some people you could trust. Be a person, people could trust. And I assure you, trust ain't pretty. It ain't me trusting you because shit is working. It's me trusting you when shit's falling apart. Because if it got down to us in a bunker or us in a, in a shootout, so you like, I don't want to be in a shootout, but I'm just saying, like, if it got down to the nitty gritty and we were back at zero, who would you actually want to start with? You want to start with somebody you don't trust, or you do trust them? You don't trust them because of the good. You trust them because of the truth. And the truth is, guys, we can figure this out. We've been here before.
Yep.
Guys, stay motivated.
Take care of your dog.